Hi guys, I'm Melissa. Welcome back to CloudMom. Answering a question today from a YouTube viewer, Guryain Sharma. I have a 6-month-old baby who will not take the bottle. What can I do? Great question. I went through this with my first 2 babies. I was so scared that they would reject the breast from the bottle that I waited a very long time to introduce the bottle. And when it came time to introduce the bottle, they didn't want it. I had to go back to work and I was very, very stressed out. So here is what worked for me, and there's a whole panoply of little things you can try. First of all, I would experiment with different types of nipples and flow. You don't know exactly what type of nipple your baby will prefer. I actually have a show on bottle options that I filmed a while back that I will link to. Since then, I think there have been some other really interesting products that have come onto the marketplace. You also want to look at the flow of the nipple. You might have a flow that's too slow, and that might be frustrating for your baby, or on the other side, too fast. So you want to look at the numbers for those and try to find the right flow. Okay, so with the right bottle, what else can you do? Okay, guess what? Don't be the one to give your baby the bottle. Get out of the house. If he knows that Madame Breast, or she, is nearby, he will sniff that baby out and he will want the breast. He will never take the bottle from you. Babies are so smart and they can smell that breast milk on you and they will never take the bottle from you. So this is a great time to get your partner or your mom or your mother-in-law or your best friend to come in and deal with your baby while you go out and have a good time. Just kidding, but you should take a break and get out of the house because you won't be able to handle the screaming and you'll be tempted to give in and give your baby the breast because you'll be worried that your baby will starve. So don't be the one to give the bottle, and you will have a greater likelihood of having the baby take that bottle. Number 3 tip, do this as the first bottle of the day. I found that's when my babies were the most hungry. They were desperate. If you're all set up with the bottle, they'll be more likely to take it then than at other points during the day when they might be less hungry. Okay? All right. What about what goes in the bottle? Okay, don't be like exclusively breastfeeding your baby and then be like, oh, here's a bottle and here's some formula. Why don't you try it out? No, 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 no. Never going to go for that in my experience. If yours is different, please weigh in. You need nice, warmed, mommy's breast milk so that it's very close to the breastfeeding experience. Okay, I have another video on how to safely warm the breast milk so that all the healthy properties of the breast milk remain intact. This is very important. You're not using the microwave nor water that is too hot. So check that video out. Make sure you have that nice warmed breast milk. Over time, what you can start to do once your baby takes the bottle is to mix in tiny little bits of formula, a little more at a time if you're trying to make that transition, so you get to half and half and then mostly formula, and over time that's a good way to sort of transition your baby to formula if you're interested in doing that. Okay, final tip. Once your baby's taking the bottle, how many bottles should you give? Well, this was also a problem for me because when I went back to work and my babies were having upwards of 3 bottles a day, I could then have a hard time getting them to get back on the breast, so that was stressful. So my advice there, sorry, you can hear some kids screaming in the background here. My advice there is to make sure that you give as few bottles as necessary so that if you are home and you've left work and you have the opportunity to directly give the breast, always do that. Don't then give bottles at night and on the weekend because it's very, very likely that your baby will wean from the breast, and unless it's what you want to do, it's something you want to be aware of. So anyway, I hope this is helpful to you. Please write in, let me know how it's going. Other moms, if you have tips on how you got your baby to take the bottle, please weigh in. It's a really, really important thing for moms, especially moms who are going back to work outside of the home. Would love to hear from you, and thank you so much for watching CloudMom.